This question is obviously testing punctuation. And before we read the passage with the punctuation questions, we want to think about what answer choices are kind of like high on the list. What are the ones that have the simplest rules that we can think about? And choice A, that periods only have one purpose. It is to separate two complete sentences. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read as if these are two complete sentences. I'm going to see how it sounds. And if that checks off, then that's kind of it. That's the end of the game. I don't really need to even think about the other choices. So we're going to start here because I know there is a sentence before, but I don't care about it because it's not going to affect the sentence that comes after. It's kind of like it's done. So here's a sentence or something. What increases is the rate at which the water turns to vapor. Okay. Now, to me, that sounds like a sentence. I think what's going to bother people is that this kind of starts with the word what, and you're not used to hearing a statement start with the word what. You're used to kind of like a question, right? What time is it? That starts with the word what, but it ends kind of in a weirder way. But what increases is, a thing. It's a non-specific thing. It's kind of like pronoun kind of adjacent, but that is a sentence. What increases, the thing that increases, is the rate at which the water turns to vapor. So there's a sentence here. We have a subject. We have a verb. Is the verb. So that checks out. So sentence 1, check. Sentence 2, or let's see what it is. With a pressure cooker pot, though, an airtight seal traps the vapor in the pot, creating pressure that allows the temperature of the water to increase past its boiling point. So there is a sentence here as well. You got to find it. An airtight seal traps the vapor in the pot. So an airtight seal, that is the subject, traps is the verb, and then we got a little extra there at the end. And we have all these commas here that are trying to throw us off, right? Where do sentences begin and end? Where do clauses begin and end? The commas here are trying to make us lose track of what's going on. I would consider this a fairly hard grammar question, especially for the easy module. So if you got it wrong, I kind of understand it a little bit more than usual, but it's still preventable. When we have the two sentences, we have no choice. We've got to pick the one that's a period. So we would need some sort of punctuation here because, again, you can't just have two sentences joined with nothing, right? They need to be joined with some punctuation that's strong enough to do that. A comma by itself is not enough to do that, and with is not a conjunction, like a word like and. When we do add the conjunction, though, we lose the comma, and we need to have both. In order to do this with a word like and, we would need a comma and the and. And so D and C separately are half of the story, but together they would have worked. That would have been an acceptable way to do it, but only A makes any sense here. Tricky. Hopefully you can get better and better at hearing when something is a sentence. That is an essential skill for the SAT. It is very hard to teach. I know here I talked a little bit about subjects and verbs, but honestly, I don't really think of it that way. It's just something that's very natural for me to hear whether or not something is a complete sentence or a fragment. For example, with a pressure cooker pot is a fragment. It's just a random clause. It doesn't have any action or thing. It's just empty. So that sorting, that categorizing is really important for punctuation questions, and they deliberately gave us sentences here that are a little hard to follow. So I understand if you got it wrong, but keep working on that skill because you do want to get every single grammar question right. It is an achievable goal with practice.